This Chinese AI model beats ChatGPT and Claude in all these different tests and has made their CEOs start to panic. Sam Altman has even started firing shots at them on Twitter. This model is called DeepSeek and is an open-source AI model that has been developed by a Chinese company with such low costs that many people question if that is even possible. For context, DeepSeek was trained with only 2.2 million GPU hours, which cost the company only $5.5 million. While Meta's new AI, Llama 3, was trained with 30 million GPU hours at the cost of $20 million. And even though the huge cost difference, DeepSeek still managed to beat Llama in almost all the tests that were done. But how is that possible? You might think that it might have something to do with the amazing labor rights the Chinese workers have. But the real answer is because of NVIDIA's new H800 GPUs that were specifically tailored to the Chinese market, sidestepping US sanctions that blocked access to advanced chips, and making some people very mad. All this has made China claim that they have developed the most powerful AI model that is accessible to the public, and many people in the West actually agree with them. But to make sure this isn't some form of Chinese propaganda, I took it upon myself to conduct my own tests and find out if those claims actually hold true. The first test will be on the AI's reasoning skills. To make these tests competitive, I will compare DeepSeek's responses to responses from ChatGPT 4.0 and Claude 3.5 Sonnet, so Sam Altman doesn't get mad and starts calling me out on Twitter. For this test, I will use a question that only someone with an absurd level of intellect and a genius level of IQ would be able to answer correctly. So I asked, I have 2 apples, then I buy 2 more. I bake an apple pie with 2 of the apples. After eating half of the pie, how many apples do I have? I runned it first on ChatGPT, and it gave us the correct answer, which is 2, so we can conclude that it successfully passed the test. Then it was Claude's turn, which to my surprise gave us an incorrect answer and said that the apples left were 2.5. After that, I informed it that it gave me the wrong answer. And as I expected, it changed its initial response to another wrong answer.
It's technology.
So we have to conclude that Claude AI failed this reasoning test. Finally, I asked the same question to DeepSeek, which, as I expected, gave me the correct answer as well immediately. So ChatGPT and DeepSeek successfully passed the reasoning test and seemed to understand basic problems with apples and pies, while Claude miserably failed at that. But don't worry, nothing is lost yet, because now it's time for every AI's worst nightmare, the coding test. In many instances, we have seen some pretty terrible code being generated by AI models. But let's see how these 3 models will do with the code I will prompt them to generate. For this test, I will ask them to create a simple rock, paper, scissors game in Python. The player chooses one option and the computer randomly selects another one. Each option should be represented visually with its shape. First, I ran this prompt on ChatGPT and it gave me the code in its new coding interface, which I got to admit looks very nice, so bonus points for that, but the code that it gave me was exactly like this. When I tried to run it, it constantly was giving me different errors that I had to fix. Then after 2 failed attempts, the code finally managed to run smoothly, and it produced a rock, paper, scissors game that I can't even play. The computer is selecting both its own choice and mine, effectively preventing me from participating in the game. The only thing I can do is click the run button and see who will win, me or the computer, so ChatGPT definitely fails this coding test. Then I ran the same prompt on Claude. It gave me this code, which I ran on Google Colab. The code ran smoothly, and it returned this box where I could type the element I wanted to use for that round. And immediately the computer made its selection and revealed the final result, which is perfect and exactly what we asked for. So Claude managed to redeem itself in the coding test and passes easily. And now it's time to test DeepSeek. I ran the same prompt in its interface and it gave me this block of code. I copied it and ran it on Google Colab again. The result was basically the exact same with the one Claude gave us. The only difference was that in this one we also had the option to type quit and the game would stop. But other than that, the game worked exactly the same with no bugs or errors, so DeepSeek passes the coding test as well, and is the only model that passed both tests. DeepSeek coding does seem to be on par with Claude 3.5, but there is another AI app that might even be better. If you want to learn more about it, click on this video right here.